Of course, no excuse. But I do love those sound bites right there. I mean, the KD was great. KD, like Broussard, the no regrets tattoo right across the forearm, even though there should be plenty of massive regrets for the both of them. Also, I agree you should not cry over spilt milk. But this was not spilled milk. This would be like if you got home from work and your basement is flooded and you're like, what is that? You're like, our basement is flooded with milk? We have to renovate the entire house? Like, that might be worth crying over. I guess that's spilled milk. You got swept in round one. The only team to not win a single playoff game this year was the only team picked by 71% of GMs to win the title before the year. 7 out of 10 GMs say this team's going to win the title.
Different team,
they actually
though.
aren't going to win a single
That was
playoff
a
game.
different team.
Okay. That was a
James
different
Harden
team.
at that
How
point.
about 3 weeks ago when Vegas had them as the favorites to win the East? Or how about 2 weeks ago when Broussard had them as the favorite to win the East? I think that was this team. I think that was the same team. We'll have to check the roster.
That was this team.
I know
yes.
Blake Griffin wasn't playing much, but I do think that was the same team. And here's why it's such a disaster. Because Brew, and we can show you it right now, they lost all 4 games, and all 4 were winnable. What the Nets did in the clutch, look at this. How were they in the clutch this postseason? The worst in everything. They had 0 assists. They had 10 points. They had a field goal percentage of 30. KD and Kyrie both hit 2 shots respectively in the clutch. You've got to be kidding me.
Nick,
every single one of these
last night's
games
game was close.
Did I feel like it was close? You mean when there's
winnable.
a minute left and Kevin Durant has a 3? Wildes, you're down 3 with
felt
the
like it
ball
was
with a
close.
minute left. The ball in Kevin
didn't
Durant's hands.
feel close.
And he missed a 3. Kevin Durant's going to the free throw line. Okay, well, that's Brew, you're off the hook. You no longer have the worst statement of the week regarding the
feel
Nets because
close.
Wildes just said a game that was literally a 1-point game with 2 minutes left, and Jason Tatum
knew the
fouled out.
Celtics
Wasn't
were going to
close.
win that game the entire game.
Okay, well, here's what
Well,
I know, Brew.
here-
I know Kevin Durant was going to the line down 3 with 22 seconds left and missed a free throw. I know Kevin Durant missed an open 3 to tie the game. I know that all they needed to do was get the game to overtime and they win because Tatum's out. They couldn't do that because they can't close. They're poorly coached. They're a bad team. I was insulting the Hawks, Bruce, saying they're the Hawks. Hawks got more pelts on the wall than this bunch of fraudsters.
Well, look, Wildes, here's why last night didn't feel close, because it was close and it was winnable. I made this comment on our show, The Odd Couple, as I'm on the air watching the game, that this felt a lot like every other game in the series, where the Nets are right there, but it feels like Boston's going to win. After the first 2 games when it happened, you began feeling like it was almost inevitable. And that's why yesterday, which was a close game, felt that way. But look, there's a lot of organizational issues that in hindsight make a sweep. Honestly, in hindsight, not really a surprise. They're poorly coached, like Nick said. They're no leadership among the players. No defensive emphasis. So Wildes, it's not a surprise in hindsight that they got swept. But Nick made the point, the games were close. You got the 2 superstars who are vets, who have the championship medal, the rings, the best player in the series. So there's no excuse. And your role players stepped up. If you said Seth Curry and Bruce Brown are going to give you 14 a night, you're thinking we got a shot to win this thing. So, again, the organization and the team need an overhaul, an attitude adjustment. Let's put it that way. So in hindsight, I say, yeah, it looks bad, but no excuse at all when you've got a guy that some people think is the best player in the world. You got another guy that you basically got 2 future Hall of Famers in their prime, and you got swept by a team whose superstars are 24 and 25 years old. So, no, there's no excuse whatsoever for the way this ended.
So I know we're up against it, but I have to tell a quick story here. I once did a leadership course. It was a ropes course where you have to walk across one of those skinny ropes. I was 100 feet up. And the instructor said you have to walk this tiny rope 100 feet up, and then when you get to the other side, you have to say, Nick Wright was right about the Brooklyn Nets. I said, whoo, that first part I'm okay with, but that second part is going to be tough. But I was able to do it, and I have to do it now. Nick, you do need a little victory lap, my friend, and I'm giving you the runway. You were right about this team the entire time. No one had it, and you did. So, invisible flowers to you, my friend.
It's not. Listen, I'm not trying to be annoying here, but this was the easiest prediction ever.
You are.
What, bro?
You are.
No, I'm not.
You are trying to be annoying. You do want to gloat. You
right.
live for that statement from Wild. So just own it,
Listen.
Nick. Just own it.
Listen, here's the deal. If you're going to force me to take a victory lap, maybe throughout the show, you know what I mean, I'll run a few hundred meters. Maybe I'll do it begrudgingly eventually. But right now, I'd rather be, as Brew would say, facts over feelings guy. And the facts are this. Kevin Durant has lost 8 of his last 9 playoff games, has been eliminated in his building in consecutive years by 2 teams who didn't have a single player on the roster with finals experience, a single contributor on the roster. The Bucks had never won anything until they knocked Durant out. The Celtics have never won anything. They just swept his ass out of the playoffs. And I know we always try to do these, well, yeah, I know we call him the best player in the world, but God, what more do you want from him? I'll tell you what more I want. I want more. What more I want is more. Better play, better finishing, better leadership, better everything that goes along with being the alleged best player in basketball. I do feel for him because the one playoff game the Nets have won in their last 9 attempts, all it took was the single greatest game Durant ever played. 48, 17, and 10, Game 5. It's the best game he's ever played. And if you're the Brooklyn Nets, Game 5 against Milwaukee last year, it's the best game he's ever played. It's the only game they've won since going up 2-0 on the Bucks. And if you are this franchise and you think running it back and adding Ben Simmons is going to fix anything, you're out of your damn mind. But I'll get to be right about this team again. That's why I don't need to take the victory lap. Because they're going to be hyped again. It's going to happen again. People are going to talk about the hezzy and the dribble and the bag and all the skill for a team that has no leadership and no coaching. It's a joke.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.